Popcorn Junkies, you've got just me and lovely Maddie to review Hotel Artemis. It's the directorial debut of Drew Pearce, who is notable for co-writing Iron Man 3. Which was very funny, wasn't it? It was a very witty film, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it was well written.
And this is a film set in 2028, Los Angeles. It's a dystopian future. It's about a hotel where criminals who are caught up in the riots that are going in Los Angeles for cleaner water, criminals to go to and be repaired.
Yes, by Jodie Foster.
Yeah, and it's quite a big deal that Jodie Foster's in this. Do you know Jodie Foster from anything?
I saw her in Silence of the Lambs.
What did you think of her in that?
She was alright.
It's a bit dated now.
To be honest, I didn't even... Yeah, it was slow. It was a slow film.
I have coined this phrase about a lot of films that I used to love in the 80s, and we were talking about seeing Heathers again today, that history is one of the harshest critics, because I keep remembering these brilliant films, and then I go to watch them with Maddie or Kiki or someone, and suddenly they don't look quite so brilliant.
Yeah, it's so weird to think that that's going to be me.
Exactly, and you might be talking about Hotel Artemis. We were intrigued, I'd say, by Jodie Foster. We love Jeff Goldblum. We knew he was going to be in it.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually. I was surprised.
Oh, did you not? I think we'd be lying if we didn't say we were both most excited about another actor in it, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
What's his name?
Dave Bautista.
Bautista, yes, our lovely...
Who is Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Absolutely. Man Crush City. I mean, if I could have him and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson together, I could just polish both their heads. Yeah, and then rub them together and it creates static.
With Josh Brolin's chin.
With Josh Brolin's chin in the middle. So we have this setup where we see Sterling K. Brown and Brian Tyree Henry, who's in Atlanta.
I'm really glad that he's in something else. He was really funny.
He had a small part, but he was very good. So it starts with a heist, and then we follow our two characters, played by Sterling and Brian Tyree Henry. They head into the hotel. And really we have a film that then sort of introduces us to a cast of characters, these sort of almost the inmates of this hotel, run by Jodie Foster. And you begin to see them sort of interact. And if it seems like I'm struggling to sort of describe it, this is kind of where my problem with the film lay,
same.
in a way. Because would you say there was a story?
I don't know. I feel like the way the movie starts off, you would have thought that it was Sterling Brown's and his brother's movie, and then it was Jodie Foster's movie.
Yeah.
And then it was what's the name of the young woman in it?
The woman played by Sofia Boutella.
Yeah, and then it seemed more like her movie.
Then it seemed like David Bautista's movie for a little bit.
And obviously that's the point of a movie. You have all different characters, but it didn't feel like they were all going on at once. It was very much, but it didn't work. I don't want to spoil it, but I felt like it was very jumbled.
Like you felt like you were going with one story, and then you were yanked out, and then you were taken into another story, and then you were yanked out, and none of the characters did I necessarily like. I mean, a shout out at this stage has to go out to one of the angriest characters I've seen in a film recently, played by Charlie Day. He was brilliant. I've got a really interesting fact about Charlie Day. He's the voice of Art in Monsters University.
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Art's my favourite.
Yeah, as a mosquito. So all of these individual characters were great, and I have to say, Sofia Boutella, if that's how I pronounce her name, who's obviously we know from Kingsman. And she was also the mummy in the new reboot of The Mummy.
She's very strange shoulders though.
Yeah,
she's just a man from the back. It's really weird.
Yeah, you did say that.
She's got a great figure.
She's got a great figure,
but yeah.
I wanted more from Dave Bautista. I mean, I'd gone into this for him.
Yeah, you would have thought, because his comedy is so good in Guardians of the Galaxy, I was expecting them to give him more.
It was nowhere near as good as Drax.
Nothing compared to Drax.
No, so I was a bit disappointed
It really showed how good an actor he is, though.
Yes.
Because he actually is a very good actor.
No, he is. Yeah, and there was one particular scene where I thought you could see real sort of emotional depth to him. I had a fundamental problem in this whole film with Jodie Foster. I'm just going to put it out there.
So did I, yeah.
And it's not...
I did from the trailer as well.
Did you?
I don't know. I feel like she was really made up. Like she felt very much like I felt all the characters were quite natural. Yes. Even though it was quite crazy what was going on.
Yeah.
I just felt like I believed all of them. I just didn't believe her. It was interesting though, because she had we knew the most. She was the one we connected.
The most
we
about.
were supposed to connect with the most.
Yeah.
And she was the only one really given a backstory that we knew about.
Yes.
And I just think I connected with the others more than her.
Yeah, I agree. There's just this great lumbering fly that's come in that just sort of almost ate my elbow.
We were expected to relate to her the most, and I just didn't. I don't feel she had a really annoying.
Show her walk.
Yeah, with her legs bent like this.
It's a very odd.
See her.
Yeah. It was very odd. You watch it
and there's something about her face that really annoyed me, and
yes,
something about her hair.
I'm going to be really contentious, and I'm going to say I found Jodie Foster virtually the same in every single part she's ever played. The big USP about her in this film was that this was her coming out as being able to play an old character.
Yeah, but it was very. She was playing it very old lady. It was obvious that she's a lot fitter than she was playing.
Yeah.
It. Like there were a few bits in it where when she was sad and stuff, talking about her son.
Yes.
She was very good at obviously being tearful.
Yeah.
And she had an anxiety about stepping outside. I thought she was quite good at I was a bit panicky when she did the breathing, but I mean, like, as soon as she opened her mouth, I just didn't believe it.
Didn't believe it. I really liked this film's production design and set design. I thought the hotel looked really...
I liked the neon sign for it as well.
The neon sign for it, and it was very Art Deco. It reminded me of the Chelsea Hotel in New York when I used to stay there years ago. And I really liked, like you said, the outside riots that were going on in Los Angeles. I thought they were really good, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, I almost wanted more of the riots.
Which is unusual.
It's like seeing the destruction going on outside. They wanted to make it Jodie Foster's movie too much, and I think if it was less her movie, it would have been a better film.
I couldn't get enough of, what's his name, Charlie Day as Acapulco. I mean, he's just so...
I felt like we both agreed that they really threw away his character.
Yeah, they did.
There wasn't enough of him.
No, he was virulently angry about everything. And
I mean, but when he was on screen, he was really entertaining.
No, I agree. I could never really work out what we were all running away from. And okay, you don't necessarily have to be running away from anything other than just getting well.
Yeah.
But there was this sort of notional idea that the Sterling K. Brown character and his brother had got this pen that had these diamonds in that Jeff Goldblum, the Wolf King, would have wanted. But there was I got no sense that the Wolf King was after them. I didn't feel like, and when he arrived, Jeff Goldblum was so Jeff Goldblum that you're thinking, God, if I could be killed by Jeff Goldblum, that'd be rather entertaining, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't feel like a sense of evil when he...
No,
and that wasn't because of him.
No.
That was just because, first of all, he didn't even know that his pen had been stolen and that they had it.
That was the weird part. That's a really important narrative point. He didn't even know, they had to be told.
Yeah, and the fact that he was good friends with Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
and
he owned the hotel.
Yeah, and he agreed with all the rules that she was setting and stuff.
Yes.
I felt okay because I thought that his son was kind of going to live up to the evil that everybody thought he was, because he was really angry, and he just ended up being a bit of a wimp.
There was one particular device that Jodie Foster would employ on occasions, which was the tranquilizer for a small elephant or a baby elephant,
which is supposed to kill a human.
Yeah, and she does execute it on someone, and it has this weird sort of...
Yeah, it's like a weird... It's not like foam. No. It's a weird
it's like
rock growth.
Yeah. It's like a rock fungus comes out of it.
It's like it was turning into a mouldy elephant skin.
Yeah. Some great fight scenes in it. I thought Sofia Boutella...
I was going to say, I think that film could have gone the opposite way and had a lot of fight scenes.
Yes.
And it didn't have a lot of fight scenes, and when they were used, it was really like, oh yeah, fight scene.
Yeah, they were well done, well choreographed, well executed.
Yeah.
I thought Sofia Boutella's line of "do not cross this line, otherwise I'll throw more Stanley knives at you" was really good. I don't know. It really was one of those films that I didn't feel was more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, I feel like the idea had more potential than the film ended up having.
What it could have done with the benefit of was perhaps them chapterizing each of their stories.
Yeah.
And then perhaps us being introduced to them all in a shared space. It was odd. It was an odd film.
There were really good qualities to it, and it was full of promise. It had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I really like the idea, just not quite the way it was altogether done.
But it was executed. Bird just landed on my head.
And I think it was a really lazy ending.
Yes.
It didn't close anything.
One of the characters gets into a car that I just didn't believe was still going to be there. Oh yeah, just need to go right and round the corner.
Yeah.
It's like me getting into an NCP car park.
I don't know, I just felt at the end of it, I was kind of a bit like, it was a bit pointless.
I couldn't help but feel they were leaving it for a next episode, but but Jodie Foster was my major problem with this film.
Yeah, she was mine as well, and she was in it the most.
Yeah, major problem. So, scores on the doors.
So like we've said, I thought the film had a lot of promise. I thought it was a really clever idea, because nothing like that's ever been done before.
No.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Jodie Foster. I think I've only seen her in Silence of the Lambs. But, you know, I've heard people bang on about her performance in it, and I was just a bit like, And I'm a bit like, with this. I feel like her performance, they're going to say, oh, this is Jodie Foster's movie, her performances, and it just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I feel like the story was really just thrown away.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a proper film. It just felt like loads of different moments. Yeah,
I agree.
Packed into one. It's a bit like when you do a slideshow on your photo album. It's like bits and pieces from different bits and pieces.
That's very true.
The set design was really nice, and I really liked the whole idea of the riots and the and I thought they were really good at introducing the characters, just not putting them all together.
Yes.
So I'd probably give this maybe a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I thought it was an incredibly rich concept. I could see, I could absolutely see why it was sort of, you know, green lit and everyone put their money in it and said, oh yeah, no, this would be great. So I thought it was very rich. I thought there were some great moments in there. I wanted more from Dave Bautista. I wanted more from Charlie Day. I thought Jeff Goldblum was a bit disappointing. I thought he could have been a bit more sort of...
but I don't think he was given enough.
But Jodie Foster, as I've said many times now, was my biggest, weakest link. But as was the story. I thought it looked great. It sounded great. But it just... all of that was hiding the fact that at the heart of it was quite a weak story. It was a story problem for me, which then bleeds into being a bit of a director's problem. So I would probably be a little more generous than you and give it a 4.5 out of 10. I'd say it's a minor, a pleasant distraction for anyone who loves cinema.
For more film and family fun, don't forget to click the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell to never miss an update.